day started with a friendly nod to Mexico, and late afternoon included Canada. Donald Trump agreeing to a pause on tariffs until April for all goods that fall under the North American trade agreement that he signed, perhaps bowing to pressure from business leaders and also the tanking markets. Trump praised Mexico's president, not so much Canada's prime minister, as we learned more about yesterday's colorful phone call between the two, which, according to the Wall Street Journal, contained some profanity. CTV senior political correspondent Mike Couteur is here. And Mike, let's start first with a one-month breather on tariffs and Canada's response.
Yeah, so this has been a very quick-moving story today, Sandy. So first, on that pause, we know that the United States has decided they will not be imposing or applying those 25% tariffs on all Canadian goods going into the United States. They say that exemption will apply to any goods that were covered under the USMCA, that trade agreement that was signed by Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Of course, that covers about 95% of goods that go into the United States, Canadian goods, that is. We also heard from Dominic LeBlanc today, who said that he is going to have a pause of his own for Canada. That is on our second round of tariffs that we were looking to impose. That's worth about $125 billion worth of American goods, and that was going to come in 3 weeks. Well, it looks like that might only come in within about a month. All of this, Sandy, went down as Donald Trump had signed this executive order in the Oval Office and again had some choice words for dealing with Canada.
We don't need cars from Canada. We don't need energy from Canada. We don't need anything from Canada.
Okay, so some more choice words, I gather, were exchanged during that 50-minute chat that the two leaders had yesterday. What have you heard?
Yeah, hearing from a Canadian official that, yes, that there was some colorful language used on the other side of the line, not Canadian, and yes, it was heated at times as well. We understand that the United States had asked Canada to pause all of our tariffs in exchange of them removing some of their tariffs. The Prime Minister said, no, that is not on. It will only be both going back and forth, that if they remove them, we would remove all of ours. Then in about the last 90 seconds of the conversation, it was Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick that were able to hammer out some sort of a framework for where we landed today, Sandy. Floated the idea of a pause on their side. The details were worked out by Dominic LeBlanc, our finance minister, and Lutnick, and the Canadian side went to bed feeling fairly confident that we would land where we are today. But in a press conference, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau today did reflect on what it's like to try and hammer out a deal with Donald Trump, and really sort of harkened back to his previous life as a real estate agent, that is Donald Trump's. Have a listen.
A win-lose is probably better for someone who is experienced in business deals than a win-win. But when it comes to countries, win-wins are actually the best outcomes. And that is an argument that we've continued to make many times, and that I've personally made many times with the President.
So, Sandy, the takeaway for viewers is that the Canadian tariffs still in place on American goods, but the American tariffs on pause for now.
So interesting. Okay, Mike, thank you.